Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Data Sim live stream. Today is the 22nd of October 2020, back in Microsoft Flight Simulator for a somewhat entertaining stream. I'm going to have a lot of fun trying to take the default 747-8 from Amsterdam to Cardiff. Now, as you all well know, the default aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator, certainly the ones of a considerable size, let's say the tube liners, they're not obviously quite up to the par of the third-party aircraft a lot of us are quite used to, but all I wanted to do is have a bit of fun, and let's see if I can perhaps use a bit of the skills I've picked up along my career and with Flight Sim to see if we can get this aircraft at least from A to B. Now, I hadn't flown the default 747 since just prior to Microsoft Flight Simulator being released, where I got the opportunity to stream it there, and it was certainly very broken. There are still a number of issues, but at least the autopilot somewhat keeps you level and turns, and you can fly an ILS. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you, perhaps those who are new to simming, how you can at least have a bit of fun flying a large commercial airliner. But it's great to be back streaming. It's been over a week since the last live stream. I've actually had a full week of flying last week. I've got a couple of flights this weekend, and then I actually start part-time my operator, so I've got lots of goodies coming up for you in the next few months with the run-up to winter. We've got one big flappy boy saying, can I join with you? I'm actually doing this stream offline, otherwise I'd have 787s flying inverted, 747s flying towards me on the runway, but we are going to do a community where anyone can join in Microsoft Flight Simulator stream very soon. Like we did with the Canary Islands, which is very successful. Andy M71's here, Will Bewley, we've got Crichton Pilot A340 saying hello as well, Will Henwards too, Callum Kamakiel's just in time, he said, welcome on board, thank you very much. Plain Old Ben Shockify is here as well. This is good morning to me as well, of course, good morning, good afternoon to wherever you are. Right, so I've done nothing, guys. All I've done is fire up Microsoft Flight Simulator, so let's click world map here. So I have done a test sector yesterday, which I streamed to the guys in Discord. It sort of went okay. We're live weather as well by the time we get in the sim. So what I'm going to do here is click load, save, load, and I've actually generated a flight plan from SimBrief yesterday, and that's the great thing. You can actually fly using existing airways in Microsoft Flight Simulator. They've got the database, just like you can with X-Plane 11 as well. So here we are, we're flying IFR high altitudes, Boeing 747-8. Now weight and balance, I could take considerably less fuel just as a sort of experiment. I set 50%, payload a typical load here. Now the reason I chose this sector is because Cardiff is where they've been retiring quite a few of the Boeing 747-400s from British Airways, so I thought it'd be kind of nice to send off the 747-400 in a sort of stream that way. So the only thing I want to change here is on the departures. You've got to click the stand we want. Oh no, that's the SID, sorry, not that one. So let's close that. Now I think, unfortunately, that has removed. No, it hasn't. It has kept my routing. That's fine. Or has it? Yeah. Unfortunately, if you click these, it sometimes deletes your routing. I don't know why, or modifies it in some way. So if I, just to demonstrate you, if I change the gates using the map, it gets rid of all your routing, which is annoying. So let me just reload the flight plan again. And then you have to change your point of departure on the stand on this. There you go, I've got my arrival back in here via Bristol NDB. So you have to go here, and we're going to go on a large stand here. And what's also going to be quite amusing today, we're going to use the default ATC in Microsoft Flight Simulator just for a bit of a laugh, because I remember when I started simming back in 2000, 2002, when I was a little bit younger, it's how I used to fly around everywhere, was with the default aircraft, the default ATC, so I just want to, see how it is. So I've chosen gate 696, which is a large cargo stand, I think, at Schiphol. We're going to plan runway 24 for departure via the Valco 2 Sierra. So quite a short taxi, full routings in. Arrivals, I'm just going to leave it to automatic direct, see what the default ATC does with us. And flight conditions off, I'm afraid, guys. Just otherwise, I'm going to have you guys going crazy. You're going to have live traffic, live weather, so it's all set there. Close, and I think that should keep us started cold and dark. So we've got half a load of fuel, typical load of passengers, and we'll just press fly. There we go. Let's see what happens. Is this the salty simulation 747? Now, I did hear about this, I did join a Discord. I just wanted to kind of experiment with the default one first on a stream, and then I might try the salty simulations. You've got a number of Zebo, let's say Zebo equivalent people updating and the default aircraft, which is great for the community. So yeah, we'll probably try the salty simulations.
50, 40,
that is so loud.
30, 20,
we had so many issues
10.
with the stream's audio last time. I might have to fix this. Please let me know in chat how loud that was. Thank you very much, Ian Perez, for the €5. Couple of euros for the inevitable post-crash lawsuit. Good luck. Thank you very much, Ian, for your amusing donation. Very kind. Yes, I cannot say that this would be the most successful flight we've ever achieved. It's just, again, a fun, chilled-out stream just to see how good, or should I say bad, the default 747 is. But yeah, as I said, I tested it yesterday. There's been a number of improvements and changes compared to when I first tried it on launch there. It's a bit loud. I thought it was. Yeah, it ripped my ears as well.
50,
oh, Tom
40,
Hudson.
30,
You've definitely
20,
got as well.
10.
Thank you very much, Tom. I hope you're doing very well, of course. We appreciate all your membership all that time ago. Just wanted to say hi. Hope all is good with you and Mariana. Not fond of 2020, so I'll skip watching till next time. Have fun. Of course, Tom. Not for everyone's cup of tea. We'll be jumping back into X-Plane 11 hopefully tomorrow evening, guys. I'm back to work on Saturday, but we're going to do one more stream in the Zebo mod, going from Athens to Rhodes, because there's a VATSIM event, so that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Vision Fake, thank you very much for your membership as well. Welcome on board. Glad you joined the content. You'll get invited to our members only Discord. Gabstron, too loud but nothing crazy. Okay, I might leave it for now then.
Minimums.
Right,
Minimums. Approaching
ready to
minimums.
fly. So let's have a little look around outside first. So yes, if you're into the more serious hardcore simming, that is never going to stop on this channel, but we do like to have a bit of fun, don't we, occasionally. Drone speed, let's just turn this up here. So I'm using my Xbox controller here, live time, live weather. Here we are on stand 96, and we're going to hopefully take off from here. Nice short taxi up for runway 24 now. Schiphol, Amsterdam, this is one of the high quality airports included with the premium version of Microsoft Flight Simulator, so the... Okay. There's a thunderstorm here, apparently. Well, I can't see any thunderstorms, certainly not on the Meta. Right, well, apparently there's a thunderstorm around, but yes, we all know how good Microsoft Flight Simulator looks, and here is the the amazing 747-8 with a thunderstorm in the background. But yeah, the quality of the exterior model is fantastic, and I love this little camera. Now I know how I'm using it. You can zoom around here, but you can see here the other aircraft should be representing other real world traffic. I see there seems to be a thunderstorm right in the middle here. well, okay. Well, if we get struck by lightning when there's no thunderstorm, we're having a bad day. Anyway, there we are on stand 96. Now let's jump into the aircraft. The setup really doesn't take that long at all. So there's Cockpit. Now, we're going to try and get our clearance first, so... Oh, radio's off. The electrical system must be turned on in order to use the radio. Well, that does make sense. Turn down the volume, says Leon. Yeah, I guess, is the game audio a bit loud, especially with the lightning there? Well, we are live weather, and thunder does happen to be quite loud. So here's the little included checklist. Only 7 steps to get the engine started. The battery switch will turn on. Here it is. And external power, there we are, that's connected. Standby power selector to auto. Slightly the wrong order, but I don't think that matters. There we are, put the external power back on. We'll get the APU started. And then when the APU's up and running, we'll put it on the bus. Not too many steps involved, but you can hear the APU booting up already. My goodness me, it's really cracking that lightning here. Let me just... How does Microsoft's weather work? How is it interpreted? At the moment, the METAR says few clouds at 2,000 feet. There is a tempo in the TAF for CBs, but certainly no thunderstorms are present there at the moment. There we are, APU's up and running. Now, let's try and get our clearance using the default ATC. So, oh, hold on, we need to get some ground services first as well. Let's, yes, let's request ramp. Request baggage and request catering. Alpaca 01, of course.
Alpaca 01 ramp is on its way.
So unfortunately you do have to contact the ground controller for for services to your aircraft.
Ground Alpaca 01.
Ah, the Thunder is a known bug. Okay.
Alpaca 01 baggage is on the way.
And what else do we need? Catering. So yes, please keep me posted with the audio. If the game audio is a little bit loud, I can easily turn that back down.
The catering truck is on the road.
There we are. So we've got catering trucks. Look, we've got everything coming here. Baggage trucks. I mean, what is it called in GSX? Cool, look at that. Well, when I tested it yesterday, I didn't have any thunderstorms at all. Maybe that's the sound of the APU starting, but yeah, we've got all the ground services coming. My goodness. If anyone can know how to turn the lighting off, that would be wonderful. But yeah, it looks like everything is being connected, so now we'll get our clearance.
Schiphol ground Alpaca 01 ready to copy IFR clearance to Cardiff.
Okay, very good.
Alpaca 01 is cleared to Charlie Alpha Romeo Delta Foxtrot.
This is the first time I've done this.
Takeoff runway 24 climb.
Good.
Maintain 8,000.
At least it's the correct runway.
Departure frequency is 119.055, squawk 1704.
So 8,000 feet. I think if I just read it back, it sets the squawk for you.
Alpaca 01 cleared to Charlie
Or Jim
Alpha
should.
Romeo Delta India Foxtrot Airport is filed.
It's a bit too loud. Okay, I'll
Takeoff
turn the
runway
game
24
video
climb and maintain
audio
8,000
slightly.
feet. Departure on 119.055, squawk 1704.
There we are. So I turned the game audio down a bit.
Alpaca 01 readback is correct.
So readback's correct. Squawk set.
121.905 when ready to taxi.
Okay, that's sort of working. So I won't request taxi yet because we're still on stand. So the beauty of Microsoft Flight Simulator, I say a beauty, obviously for the sake of realism, not that realistic, but because I have the routing on the flight planet, it's already punched all the waypoints in here in the FMC for me, which is great. So what I will do, which I just forgot to do prior to the start of the stream, is load up Navigraph charts, so I can at least show you the routing here. So guys, you always ask me this question, especially if you're new to the streams, what's that you're bringing up on the screen? Well, this is called Navigraph charts from Navigraph's the company, they use Jeppesen charts here, and they're really accurate. They use real world data basically and charts to show you here. So our SID is going to be the Valco 2 Sierra. Essentially, there isn't much to it. It's an RNAV SID to these RNAV points via EGCROSS. We're being cleared by Microsoft Flight Simulator ATC to 8,000 feet, and then we're going to be routing right over the top of London. Nice flight. Flight time's just around an hour or so, and then expected runway 30 in Cardiff. So we'll make reference to this throughout the sector to see how accurately Microsoft Flight Simulator navigates them. Cool, so we're going to be going to Charlie Alpha Romeo Delta India Foxtrot. Now the V speeds unfortunately aren't accurately replicated. I've heard that the Salty Simulations one does accurately replicate the V speed, so we'll select flap 5. These speeds are completely wrong for our gross weight. I mean, a V2 of 208 knots, I mean, this is Concorde's V speeds. We'll use them and see how they work. And I'm going to set 208 here. I've noticed like the flap ups, the clean speed's like 260 knots. Again, I don't think that's entirely accurate, but I've never flown a 747. So yeah, let's do a sort of panel scan. Most of this isn't modelled, so the IRS is automatically aligned. APU put on the bus now, it gets rid of the external power, and I think when you start the engines it automatically connects the IDGs. Put all the fuel pumps on. I don't think we have any fuel in the centre tank. Pop the window heat on. Nav lights can be on, so we have AC power, and the rest is all set there. Runway heading for runway 24 is 238 degrees, so we'll set that here. Oh, God, it goes. I don't like this aspect of it. If you really rotate quickly, it starts jumping digits, which is a bit of a pain. But runway heading set, we'll pop the flight directors on. Someone in chat will have to tell me how to push Toga in the 7.4 because there's no Toga switch like with where it is on the 7.3. I have no idea where it's located. I think we're all pretty much ready to go. So what we're going to do is, I don't think you request push and start. You just use ground services, don't you, and request pushback. And it's going to be for runway 24, so we need to just push back there, face the direction we need to go. So let's go outside. request pushback.
Skip all ground Alpaca 01.
And again,
requesting
guys,
pushback.
you know this is just a bit of fun. We know it's nowhere near as realistic as what we're used to flying in this channel, but this is just to see if I can at least get this thing from A to B publicly on a stream. Thanks for subscribing, Practically Greek, Quantaste, and Timmy770. Welcome, guys. Leon, so complicated. I can't tell if that's a genuine comment or not. But yes, only a few steps to get the default 747 up and running. But we'll try and fly an ILS into Cardiff. I think that is all working. Right, let's release the parking brake. Off we go. Let's do the ye old faithful Control E. Because I don't think the engine start is otherwise that realistic. Oh, turn my indicator on. Looks like we're starting the engines. And I need to... which way do I need my tail here? So I want him to steer to the right. I remember doing this yesterday and it was all opposite. So I want him to steer left, I think.
Skip all ground Alpaca 01 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left.
Is that correct? No. But he's turning right. That's not correct. Right, I'm going to stop it, okay, and I'm going to do a 180 turn. Oh, no. I missed better pushback. Yeah, please, before I end up on the grass. There you go, nothing to see here. Right, anyway, whilst the engines are booting up, let's enjoy some of the exterior views, which is... obviously the engine start isn't that realistic, I don't think. Put the speed down slightly. I mean, it looks fantastic, and I'm sure once we get some high-quality third-party aircraft here... I mean, I love this sim for VFR at the moment. The Cessnas and flying around VFR is absolutely fantastic. Did I actually end up on the grass? No, I didn't. Look at that. Perfectly pushed back. I mean, it's visually incredible. Absolutely stunning. And it will come. We'll soon have really accurately replicated aircraft. Is he a real push tug driver? 2 tons of love, pretty sim at least. No comment. Right, anyway. So much fuel. We've got enough fuel probably to get to America, but so be it. We're at least below our max landing weight already. Now, on the ND, you obviously got this detailed map here. I certainly know on the 7.8, when you zoom in far enough, you can get some high quality here. I don't think it's kind of photogenic like this, but certainly don't have that on the NG. I think that Toga this is the THR on the MCP jamming. Okay, so if I push this, that'll hopefully set takeoff for us. Alright. Right, let's pop the order brake to RTO. Whether that functions or not, I don't know. So let's sort of do a before taxi flow here. So generators, they're all on. Well, actually, no, before I do anything, let's just check the Microsoft's checklist. Do that and then we'll do our own. Starting engine, P procedure, APU off, lights on. Okay, then that's the end of the checklist. So APU off, lights on, and we followed the checklist with Microsoft, so at least they're all happy. I forgot to turn the beacon on prior to engine start. So generators on, APU's off. There's no start switches. Probe heat's on. Anti-ice not required for departure. None of these sections to work, but there's no nav aids to set. There's not enough SID, so select flat 5. Let's check the flight controls. Just realised we're rolling. Park set. So now let's check the flight controls. Full forward, full back, left, right. I'll tell you what, if I was in the 7.3 and it made that noise, I'd be a little concerned. Right rudder, left rudder. What's the QNH here? That's my next issue. So it is 1009. God, this is lightning. I tested it yesterday and I didn't have any lightning. There must be something wrong with it that's triggering that. So 1009, and again, this isn't accurately modelled. This yellow line here, I'm sure it's the same as the 737. This should represent your elevation of the airfield, so if you started changing your QNH, that yellow bar shouldn't move. It should be fixed. Not to worry, we're all ready to taxi now, so let's request taxi.
Skip hold ground Alpaca 01 with Quebec ready to taxi IFR. Alpaca 01 taxi to and hold short of runway 24 using taxiway Sierra 8.
Well, that's easy enough.
Tower on 118
So let's get you some charts, guys, on Navigraph, and I'll read back my clearance.
Taxi to and hold short runway.
So, you know, the ATC is obviously, as you'll shortly see in flight, very interesting, but it really isn't that bad for the taxi instructions I got yesterday. I took off on a test on a slightly different runway, but the taxi instructions were correct. All the charts depicted it correctly. So here's Navigraph here. We're just obviously pushed back facing the wrong way. We're going to make a 180-degree turn taxi. There is Sierra 8 as cleared, and then we're going to blast off runway 24. Nice 3,400 metre runway for us. Right, anyway, let's now jump into the sim and taxi to the runway. So parking brakes released. I don't think the config checks not much point doing it because I don't think it's modelled, but there we go. There's nothing blurring, no alarms going off. And let's taxi the whole point. Oh, press B on the keyboard to auto reset altimeter. Oh, I've set it now. I remember, that's a classic Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now all the settings are on ultra realistic, so there's no cheating, so if I overspeed the sim will crash, and I left it all there and stuff. And as you'll see here, as we climb higher, I always sort of question the atmospheric model occasionally in the sim for aircraft like this, but it seems to work really nicely. We climb at a fixed indicated airspeed, the Mach number's increasing, the performance respectively decreases as well. It seems to be working quite nicely now. Again, whether they made some changes, I'm not sure. Eyesight, keep the blue side up. Some fantastic advice. Thank you. Certainly need to do that today. Right, anyway, we're pointing in the right direction now. Let's have a little look outside. Lovely. I've forgotten the showcase camera. You have absolutely no control of the aircraft. So let's jump back in here. Wait for a straight line. Is the camera supposed to be this high? No. I mean, I've just moved it into a position where I'm quite happy with it whilst taxiing. It's very hard. I mean, that would probably be roughly the correct seat position. I've not really had a huge play with it. So what bits of Amsterdam ground equipment are still attached to the aircraft? It looked all good to me. Perfect time for this flight, so I'll be chasing the sun all the way to Cardiff. Sun sets around the same time we touch down, so it should look very nice. It's probably a shortcut to be able to jump from the cameras, but I'm not 100% sure what they are. I always use the click spots here. Right, let's do a little bit of a before takeoff checklist. So config we checked, flaps we have 5. Stab trim is set for departure. Again, there's no accurate way of setting it, but it's in the green band, I'm pretty sure. Takeoff briefing, air conditioning is set, bleeds are set. V-speeds are completely incorrect but set for departure. We're flying a Valco 2 Sierra, so we're climbing straight ahead to the end of the runway, and then we're going to make a left turn inbound to Valco. Climbing to 8,000 feet as cleared by ATC. I think that's the whole point there. We'll try and do an NADB2 departure, so we'll accelerate to 1,000 feet and then bug up and retract the flaps. Taxiing's not great. So where's the hold point for this runway? There should be some dashed lines going across the runway here, but I'll try and contact tower now for takeoff clearance. There we are.
Skip full tower, Alpaca 01 at runway 24 ready for takeoff IFR to Charlie Alpha Romeo Delta India Foxtrot.
You can say Cardiff, Jim.
Alpaca 01 cleared for takeoff runway 24.
No wind. Right, let's go.
cleared for takeoff runway 24 Alpaca 01.
Well, at least it says Alpaca. It can say Alpaca, but not Cardiff. Right, lights are on, strobes are on. MCP, let's have a little bit of LNAV. That's working, okay. Auto throttle's already armed. Weather radar, I don't think is modelled, but I don't know how to turn on in the Jumbo anyway. So MCP is set, transponder to... not modelled, can't even turn... oh I can, yeah. Transponder to TAR8, strobe lights are on, landing lights are on, race parking brake. Let's go to Wales. Parking brakes released. Oh look.
Tower, easy 1834, ready to go runway 24
Easy?
left,
That doesn't look like an easy jet.
Easy 1834, hold short runway 24.
Damn right holding short.
Traffic is Boeing B748 on the runway.
So that's quite interesting. That says it's an EasyJet going to Manchester. Is there actually an EasyJet taking off from runway 24 going to Manchester right now? Because I think that doesn't it accurately show other flights? Not 100% sure. Alt F4, what does that do, XYZ bomber? Lol. Lovely. I think it really does quite nicely accurately replicate obviously how high you are in the Jumbo compared to the 7.3. Not modelled bingo +1, said Javelin. Are you and Anthony playing bingo with how little is accurately modelled? See if I can at least nail the lineup. Bit right of centre line perhaps. So runway heading's 238. Is it? I don't think it's quite accurate there. There you go. Let's have a look at that lineup. I wouldn't say that's too bad. Slightly pointing in the right direction, slightly right of centre line. Guys, get your togas in chat. No sign of an EasyJet to Manchester on FR24. Okay. Right. EasyJet departed 13 minutes ago in real life flying to Manchester. That might be what it is. Right, so someone said I go up to 40%. Fly push thrust? Nope. Speed? Nope. Alright, let's do it manually. Set takeoff thrust.
Easy 1834, taxi into position and hold.
Right, that'll do. I haven't quite gone full power. Right, takeoff thrust set indications looking all normal. Nose has wanted to come up already. Maybe the trims are set.
Easy 1834.
There's 80 knots. Thanks, Jim. I'm going to go all the way up to this arbitrary V1 figure. My goodness me, it's very sensitive. So hand off the thrust lever. There's rotate. Smoothly pitch up on the joystick. There's that lightning. And we're airborne. Alright, positive red climb gears coming up. Flight director is obviously not giving me the guidance I want because I didn't get toga engaged. And yeah, I mean, I'm holding the attitude here at 20 degrees and the speed's holding. It's what I'd expect with a simple takeoff power thrust setting. I mean, it's not that far off.
Going to 119.055 Alpaca.
So I'm going to bug up now. What I'm going to do is lower the attitude to around 10 degrees. There's no flat bug speeds at all, they're all the way up there. I think that was a good point to select flat 1. 10 degrees is the typical acceleration altitude you set in the 7.3 when you're accelerating. Those flaps up. Let's see if I can get some form of automation here. So let's select vertical speed. Now why is the auto throttle came on with that? Right, let's bug 250. And set the vertical speed up to, I reckon, 3,000 feet per minute. Trim. Still not quite in trim. Let's get the autopilot in. Command. You know what? I was saying to the guys at Discord here, the autopilot's now just come in. It's much better than it was. The attitude and thrust settings are not going to be perfect to the nearest degree, but I'm setting the pitch and attitude as I would in a 737, and it's working. You know, 20 degrees initial climb, 10 degrees to accelerate. For default, obviously, we're missing dozens of systems, but it works. You know, if you're new to simming, which is the whole idea of this stream, I wanted to show you how you can have a bit of fun you know, flying a default aircraft. Am I confident enough to have taken this on VATSIM? I'm not sure, because I don't think you can modify the FMC routing. But right, let's check in with departures.
Schiphol departure Alpaca 01 is climbing through 4,000.
And it's maintaining 250. It's maintaining around 3,000 feet per minute, just about. This shouldn't change like that. Continue to Valco. 2980. We're in Europe. Give me the hectopascals. 2980. Right. Oh, there's nothing else to say there.
Schiphol departure Easy 1834 is climbing through 700.
Right. Well, I'm gonna have to set. Well, I'll leave the QNH at least. So we'll set 1,000 feet because we've only got 1,000 feet to go. Yeah, they've definitely done. They've made significant improvements to the autopilot. It's still not perfect. I'm going to try VNav a bit later, where I think it's not quite as good. But what I don't like is how they're obviously got it programmed just to manipulate trim all the time to work the autopilot. It's not how it works. It's making inputs on the control column and the hydraulic forces. It doesn't just constantly trim up and down. But yeah, it's doing 1,000 feet per minute, and there we are. Bye bye Amsterdam. Into the sunset, guys. Yeah, I mean, aircraft quality aside, the sim, as we all know, is just beautiful. Okay, well, I remember that. I don't think the transition altitude is where it should be. Climb and maintain 14,000.
Climb and maintain 14,000 feet, Alpaca 01.
So it wouldn't usually be a flight level. In Amsterdam, transition altitude is about 4,000 feet around here. Let's try VNav, okay? So VNav, maintaining 250 below 100. Thrust reference, that'll be the climb thrust reference. VNav speed, so it's maintaining the speed in the FMC. There we go. I mean, it's alright, you know, it's really, in fact it's using real navigation points. It's alright.
50.
Oh my god.
30. 20. 10.
Thank you very much, Tim, for £2. Remember what I said? No need to send us anything at all, but thank you. Can't stay long on holiday with the family. Have a great holiday, Tim. Fantastic. I hope you're having a great time. I'm guessing in the UK, but turn the stream off, enjoy your time with your family, and it'll be here afterwards for you to enjoy, and we'll see you in the next members group flight, no doubt. Wicked. Right, so tune Amsterdam Centre. There's 100, so it should go from 250 to 310. There's the climb speed. It's pitching down, perhaps a little bit aggressively, but the Zebo mod in time did this. Yeah, should be descending though. It's a little bit aggressive pitch down. So it's fighting itself here. It's just a little bit aggressive there, overcorrecting, and now it's just realised. So let's see if it smoothly transitions to maintain 310 knots. Let's contact Amsterdam Centre.
Amsterdam Centre.
Alfie Douglas, it's definitely not awful, no. Awful's not the word I'd use. It's ain't bad. It ain't bad. Right, let's go vertical speed now, because we're climbing at a good rate. When you press vertical speed, it opens up at your present rate of climb. That is correct. On the 737 again. Set 2,000 feet per minute, 310 knots. I can request a vector to my next waypoint or request cruising altitude. I think we requested to cruise at 400 today. The only thing the default Microsoft Flight Simulator ATC does, it only gives you further climb when you're approaching your cleared level. So when you actually go to slow down your rate of climb, it just takes longer to get a further climb. The DAPA, yeah, I get a lot of trim issues. Since the sim is fairly new, the trim will be changing constantly, and I'll be 10 degrees up. I'm not gaining or losing altitude, so it's weird, but I'm not so sure. Yeah, I mean, the autopilot makes trim inputs for sure, but not to the point where it overcorrects itself. But they've certainly come back to the 7.4 and tweaked it, because it is better than it was. Another thing that's happened here, look, it's captured the altitude a little bit too early, which is why the aircraft started levelling off. That only happens, but it depends on your closure rate, your rate of climb, coming up to your cleared rate of descent as well, coming up to your MCP altitude. But you'll notice that Microsoft Flight Simulator 80 will only give us further climb once we're right on top of 140.
Alpaca 01 climb and
There we
maintain
go.
flight level 280.
Seems to trigger it like 200 feet below. So acknowledge.
Climb and maintain flight level 280 Alpaca 01.
It's going to get us on our way. So 280 set. Let's go back to VNAV and we'll set standard. Passing 140 flight level 280. Here comes climb thrust. Even though we've got climb here, I mean, they've done quite a bit to model certain things. Like, I know none of the ECAM or ICAS, whatever they call this. I don't have that fancy stuff on the 7.3. They've done a lot of work to make sure that's working. I mean, things like having little climb reference bugs here is nice. Cabin altitudes, climbing. Yeah, they've done some bits here. And No Aviator, why don't you have a Discord? I do have a Discord, but it's only for the members of my channel. If I had a public one, no doubt we'd have problems, especially now the size of the channel. I mean, so yeah, it's just something to give back to the members. I made it private only. But I am accessible via social media. I do try and respond to some messages, which, as you can imagine, there's quite a few. What I love is the water, though, the sim. It does look very nice. What a lovely evening to go flying, apart from the random lightning. And we should be there in about 45-50 minutes. Very short flight. In fact, you can see the UK just ahead. Around the aircraft as we climb, because that's what the sim's about. It does look lovely. What really excites me about Microsoft Flight Simulator is how much Asobo seem to be wanting to fix issues, and the team behind it. I know there's been a few updates, some updates have broken it, but as well as you all know, the Zebo mod, there's been updates where perhaps taken a couple of steps back instead of forward. But it's a very exciting time for the sim community. I mean, look at that. Stunning.
Easy 1834, you are 400 feet above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet altimeter 29.0.
Beautiful. We've got some great views here. Look at that, heading right to the sunset. That's wicked. Captain wants to ETA about 45 minutes from now. Actually, that's a point. Does Sim Talking Pro work with this? I've not even tried it. Love that view. Amazing. There we are, back in the flight deck. So, yeah, I mean, we're climbing in VNAV, coming up to 280, maintaining 310 knots, fixed speed. You'll notice as we climb the Mach number increases because we're maintaining an indicated airspeed. Oh, look at that, 74 knot headwind. Now this is a heading up display, so different to how we have our 7.3s at my operator. We have a track up display, so this doesn't show you your drift, which is a bit of a pain. Again, I don't think this will have the option
50,
to change
40, 30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much, Tao, for your donation. Having my Class 1 medical tomorrow, lads over in Discord have been very helpful. Any advice story you could share would be helping my nerves, to be honest. Well, best of luck, Tao, with your Class 1 medical. I'm guessing that's your initial one. I remember having to go down to Gatwick for my initial Class 1 medical in 2007, 2006. All that time ago. I mean, yeah, I was perhaps a little apprehensive, but yeah, just it's a test. Well, not a test. They're just examining to make sure you're able to hold a Class 1 medical. And That's all there is to it. I briefly lost my medical once in my career as well. I had an ear infection about 4 or 5 years ago, and it basically affected my... I thought it was affecting my balance, but they had to have that all checked out. So when you have anything like balance affecting or anything like that, you need to get those sort of things checked. But it was just a bad cold. So they did all the tests and got my medical back to it. It's the process, it takes so long. But yeah, I mean, you'll be fine, I'm sure. But thanks guys in Discord as well. I've been quite busy outside of work, as you well know, so I wasn't on Discord yesterday. I took a break, and then I've been out all day today. But yeah, we'll do the members group fight soon, guys. Cool. Quinari, I have to go to night school. Have a nice flight, Captain. That sounds enthralling, Quinari. Enjoy your night school. There's 1,000 feet to go. I'm sort of wanting to keeping it climb though, because I want to get up to our cruise level. Otherwise, we won't have any time there. I forgot to do the pre-cruise checks as well. So turn the lights off. There we go.
Alpaca 01 climb and maintain flight level 400.
Definitely the trigger for that is when you're 200 feet below your cruise altitude. Yeah, look, see, it's just descending slightly as it went into altitude.
Climb and maintain flight level 400 Alpaca 0.
There we go. So 400. You can hit VNAV. There we go. So this should now take us all the way up. And I think here we've got 400. Yeah. I mean, things like that. Look, FL's the wrong side. It should be FL flight level 400. Tao, thanks. This is helpful as always. I mean, it's been so long since I've done my initial medical, but yeah, best of luck. Don't be worried about it. Now, what I really like, you see how the sun here is so bright. That is very realistic. I mean, if you cut Faro's a absolute challenge sometimes. You land on runway 28 in Faro around this time of year in this schedule. The sun's just setting, and as soon as you land there, it's right in your face. It's a bit hazy. Your visibility decreases, or your ability to see far decreases significantly. So love that effect there. Jordan Forrest's question on engine anti-ice. It may, if I may, my understanding is that you have it on when 10 degrees or less with visible moisture. How do you handle that at night? Jordan, it's quite... you obviously have the temperature in the flight that we use, the total air temperature, and then you can quite easily tell at night if you're flying through clouds, because you've got the beacon reflecting off it, or the strobes. You can see it as well. I mean, even if it's a moonless night, you can tell where the clouds are descending onto them, but it's not usually an issue. But yes, you're quite right, below 10 degrees total air temperature, invisible moisture, we do use engine anti-ice, wing anti-ice as required, usually when we visibly see ice building up on the wiper. We actually have a little torch in the 737, it's just here, which you can pull out. It's connected to the aircraft. You can check the wipers at night and see if there's any ice building up there. Cool, so inbound to Hypnos. If you like to actually know where we are geographically, what I'll do is show you now the Navigraph charts. There we are, so over the eastern part of the English Channel. We're pretty much following the just north of the Thames estuary, look. There's London. And then we'll be commencing our descent. Not too long. Not too long at all. There she is. Oh yeah, rest in peace, K-Mag and oh god, my when I'm streaming, everything goes to pot when you try and remember names. Oh my god, K-Mag and hold on, I've opened my news page, just reading it here. The Haas team are dismounting, probably not a bad thing. Oh my god, how can I not forget his name? Crashes all the time and then moans. Grosjean, oh my days, how on earth did I forget that? Chris Dolby, Flight Sim what sunglasses do you wear? Are they polarized or non-polarized? I generally don't wear. I wear glasses at work, so I've just got my spectacles. Of course, some spectacles. So I don't usually have the option to wear sunglasses, but I do have a pair of Ray-Bans, which I think are polarized. I occasionally wear contact lenses at work. Yeah, I mean it's working. LNAV, ENAV, climb rate perhaps a little low, but again I'd expect the N1 to be a bit higher, and for the M1 to be increasing as we climb slowly. I don't think that's model by the looks of it. We just got 88.9 set. Someone wants me to try the wipers. What is it with you guys and window wipers? Is it even modelled? I cannot even see it. Cool. So the 747, I've had a play around. There's no nav aid frequencies. You got your radio here, but I think basically when you select your
contact London Center on 118.475.
When you choose the approach you'd like to fly in the FMC, it automatically tunes the required ILS, which is quite cool.
118.475 for Alpaca 01.
But I think for anyone that's perhaps a little younger and
London
new to
Central
Microsoft Flight
Alpaca
Simulator,
01 is
you
climbing
can
through flight level 345
use the
for
default
flight level
ATC and have a
400.
bit of fun flying like this. Obviously, we're missing a lot of the steps required and the checklists and stuff. But yeah, it won't be long until you'll be flying a realistic one. Right, checked in with London. They're happy with our routing. We're on our way now to Logan. We even have distance. We have ETA. Looking good. No top of climb or top of descent models in the FMC, it would seem, but you got the range up to 320 miles and it's there, so not too far to go at all. I haven't even put any music on for the stream. Tao, any chance you'll portray Zebo by flying the Microsoft Flight Sim Zebo, the A320 NX by fly-by-wire? I've had umpteen requests to fly this Airbus. I mean, I don't know what an Airbus is doing half the time, let alone flying one in Microsoft Flight Simulator. But lo and behold, I understand it's been lots of updates and it's actually not too bad a thing. So no doubt, with a lot of time coming off this winter, we'll try the Zebo A320 by fly-by-wire. I think that'd be quite amusing. Stream-wise, guys, as I mentioned, tomorrow I hope to do another very short stream.
Magic Sun 6907 is at
Magic
flight
Sun.
level 400, descending 10,000.
Don't know who that is. Zebo mod tomorrow from Athens to Rhodes, because there is a full VATSIM event there, and I am going to grab the INI Builds A300, the Airbus A300, for another amusing stream. We're going to jump on VATSIM, find a second to do that, and that will be very amusing for you, no doubt. There we go. So flight time probably another 35 minutes. But as soon as you get a 400, we're going to have to start descending again. Yeah, look, we're maintaining decimal 8.2 in the climb, 8.4 indicated airspeed's coming back. I'd expect at 37,000 feet, 270 knots to be around 0.84. Far End Salty Simulations released an update to 7478 which increases functionality like the fly-by-wire, I've heard, and I did really contemplate using that today, but I just wanted to demonstrate the default 747 what has been fixed basically since release. I have to admit, I mean, as I've just mentioned literally a couple of minutes ago, yeah, half none of the systems are cool, obviously, but the autopilot, it's climbing, it's using the FMC, it's got a loaded route in the FMC as per real world routing, it's working. It just, yeah, maybe Salty Simulations will spruce this up for us. El Scorchio, I really want to love Microsoft Flight Simulator scenery lighting study, but the aircraft are complete trash. A bit harsh. I think the GA aircraft are fine. Aircraft like this are obviously, yeah, not to the level of immersion and in-depth modelling we're used to, but give it time. Give give it time. I can't wait to go try some heavy jets in here. I mean, this is okay. I mean, I'm sure if I could tune a VOR and fly VOR, you could use vertical speed and heading select to fly non-precision approaches. That's how we do it at my operator if ENAV's unavailable. I mean, it's working. It's a VFR sim right now. I agree, Longcat. That's where I'd sort of place it, really. And a stunning one at that. And you can see now we're starting to get some small oscillations with the autopilot as we approach flight level 400. There's the Thames estuary, flown up this direction many times before. Might get a nice view of London. Paggy Tech goes, yo matey, what's up? What's up? What's up to you? Mo Madden, new big jet windshields are coated so the rain beats and strips off wipers, not going to help with ice. You're quite right answering that question as well. You don't want to be using the wipers when the windscreen's dry as well, because it'll scratch them too. Approaching flight level 400. Again, it's slight oscillation that you see as we're going up and down. But music's a bit loud. Thanks, guys. You should stream X-Plane, Oliver. I agree. I stream X-Plane as well, and it'll always be. Oh, hold on, thrust come all the way back here. So I think it's just bit on flight level 400 a bit early. Yes, don't worry. We'll still be streaming X-Plane. Lots of X-Plane streams coming up. Lots of Zebo stuff, any builds. I want to fly the Concorde back to Europe as well at some point. Loads of stuff to come up. Eric Bright, yes, you know I'm a professional streamer, Eric. I've turned the music down now. We're gonna have to have a professional streamer emoji soon. And there's 40,000 feet. I mean, it works. We're here. Just descending slightly, and we're maintaining decimal 82, which I think is cruise page. Now they've got this correctly modelled. Now on the Zebo mod, you'll know we have a climb, cruise, and descent page, which is how the old FMCs worked. But all the new FMCs in our operators, well, we now have a VNAV button, and that then puts climb, cruise, and descent on 3 pages. So that's actually accurately modelled. So we're in the cruise here, a lot of information missing. But notice we're at flight level 400, the N1, I guess the target is 87.4. No top of descent calculated. And I'm going to sort of rely on when it tells me to descend. We've got about 160 miles to go. So when we're about 120 miles, we want to start our descent. Anti-moose, outrageous. A double climb, we don't have a double climb emoji. Anyway, let's have a little look at the charts in Cardiff.
975, you are 47 miles east. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet, keep speed below 220 knots, expect ILS runway 27 right approach via Lima
Let's move
Alpha
that here.
transition.
Right, so we're halfway there, just approaching London. We'll have some nice external views outside shortly. Alright, ATC is loud. It's not really flying at, we are flying at Star, sorry, we're flying the Compton, it's Compton Bravo, Cardiff, no, not that one. Oh yeah, this is our routing, look. That's why I log in, zoom in on the ND, look. So you can see on the chart here, there's Compton, and there's Compton on the ND. We're then going to Abdul, the Bristol NDB, and then actual arrival takes us directly overhead. Oh my goodness, ATC, calm. That actually, actual arrival takes us direct to the NDB, but prior to doing that, we're actually going to fly the ILS here. Our routing is going to be taking us to an RNAV waypoint just here, which is called Amber, which is on the extended centre line. You can see it again here in the ND. and this is the ILS we're going to fly. So, let's set up what we can here. So, minimums I don't think we can set. No, that's not modelled.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much, Creature Below 2.
Descend and maintain 6,100 feet. Expect ILS runway 27 approach by Lima Charlie Yankee transition.
What's the difference between 737-800 and 747-8? Just one single digit, 2 engines, and another deck, and 200 tons maximum zero fuel weight. Nothing to see here. Banter aside, take care as always. Best regards to you, including Chief Pilot Jack. Thank you very much, Creature Flow 2. Certainly, there's several differences. A fatter, wider, faster jet. But certainly some of the skills are transferable anyway. Cool, thank you very much. And I hope you're doing very well in Malta. Right. Let's have a look at those charts again. The ATC is very droning and very annoying. So here's the ILS. The courses I don't need to set, the frequencies I don't need to set, the FMC does that for me. Minimums I can't set, 413. So we'll just have to make sure when we get to that altitude we're visual. Intercept the ILS, RVR 550, and then we have to go around. I don't know the configurations in the 7.4 to be fair, but then we'll reach 3,000 feet at 4 DME later, or 3,000 feet or 4 DME, whichever's later, will be the 4 miles. Right turn back to the beacon to hold, and there we go. Short runway, 2,400 metres for a 7.4, so we'll use full flaps, which is flap 30, vacate Bravo 1, which is probably not suitable for a 7.4, but will be grand. But yeah, that's it. I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail because half of it I can't set, and half of it's not it can be modelled, but we'll be fine. Town Bristol approaches online for your information. Not on VATSIM at the moment, so it won't make much difference. It's good though. Can't. I mean, the lighting is great. I mean, on the ground it would look like that now, so you can't see the ground too clearly, but that's quite realistic. Hopefully we'll get our descent soon. Because we are approaching 160 miles. Yeah. We're going to use the default ATC's descent guidance, see what it does. But yeah, we should be touching down in around 30 minutes from now. ATC, so it currently sounds like Siri, yes.
Alpaca 01, descend and maintain flight level tree 00.
There we go.
Descend and maintain flight level tree 00 Alpaca 01.
So let's try push out an event, see if that does anything. I can't remember when I tested this, if it did. So VNAV speed, thrust reference. Is that descending? It is. Altitude event works.
Speedbird tree 2 tree.
What's it going to descend at though? 1,000 feet per minute? Or is it actually descending?
1,000 feet, keep speed below 220 knots. Expect ILS runway.
No, it's not descending.
Approach via Bravo India Golf transition.
Okay, let's try.
Clear to Bravo India Golf.
Doesn't like to descend in VNAV. I swear I did that yesterday and it worked. Right, I'm going to try flight level change. What this does, puts the thrust at idle, and then the aircraft will pitch for speed, which in this case is Mach. Voice, that ATC. Sorry guys. I'm going to maintain a Mach number decimal 8. I should stream X-Plane Mobile. I don't think so, Oliver. I don't think that'd be any good. So yeah, this is level change, I think. It's just pitching. Oh, shut up. It should pitch for this speed. It's climbing slightly, which it should do. Then it should go down now. There we are. And it should maintain decimal 7/8. So level change is working, which is great. The fact that the basic pitch mode is working, like level change and vertical speed, that's great. I mean, the altitude's a bit high. Descending at 2,000 feet per minute, 5 degrees nose up. Nah, it should be around the horizon. So, attitude's a bit off. Ban ATC. Did we get any top of descents in chat? I'm a professional streamer. We've got to say those things. Water break to, let's do 4 because it's quite a short runway. So when we get closer, I've got a funny feeling he might go as a vector. A spicy flow, is it hard to fly a plane in real life? I mean, it's like anything. You have the training required and learn to fly. It becomes easier, but there are days when it's very challenging, when you've got max crosswind landings and you're really having to work hard to make sure the plane is in safe conditions at all times, especially close to the runway, but we never land when it's unsafe to do so. We'd go around. And if we'd have a second attempt, we'd ensure that we divert somewhere where we know the aircraft we're not going to have the issues getting into. So that's why it's one of the safest forms of travel. Freddie Saunders, hello, Flight Data Sim, how are you doing? Very well, I hope you're doing well too, Freddie. Dale, if you had turbines for an extended period, would you request a flight level change? Yes, we would, Dale, typically to a lower altitude, or we can even ask ATC, and they can ask traffic around it, maybe perhaps 2,000 feet higher where there's no turbulence. But yes, we don't want to be staying in the same place for a long time if there is consistent turbulence. Some days it can be literally everywhere. You can try climbing and descending, it's still there, and it can be there for a long time, but they are very far and few between. So maintaining Mach decimal 7.8, the aircraft's actually maintaining decimal 7.4, so we should be pitching for this exact speed. What I do like is the fact that we are maintaining a Mach number, and you can see the target indicated airspeed slowly increasing. That is correct. There is a known bug, I'm afraid. Once you've started your descent, you are stuck in Mach. You cannot actually select indicated airspeed. Well, that did something. A wee! Yes, what did I push? I pushed select button to switch to knots and Mach, and that seems to have made me go down to 10,000 feet per minute. At least it's pitching for the correct speed. Hold on tight, guys. Now we're climbing, yeah. So, in level change, it's a little bit rough, so I might just revert to vertical speed. So a bit of a 2,000 feet per minute, and that way it won't oscillate as violently. Bring the speed back, and then it should just then descend at the fixed rate of descent. So all I'm going to do is just set a vertical speed where the speed's pretty stagnant. So yeah, flight level change needs some work. VNAV didn't seem to want to work in descent as I'd expect it to. Again, I'm basing my knowledge of flying a 737 NG, not 7.4. You got it, Floyd Wall 888. Whoopsie, you're out of drinks. That's better. So yeah, it's a little bit more stable in vertical speed. We have got a decel point here, which is quite interesting. How many track miles we got left? Does it tell me on the progress page? No, progress page isn't modelled. Hold's not modelled. Legs is. That's obviously all broken because at Bristol it wants me to be a flight level 300. That is not correct. And what we actually have here is the distance from our departure point. Should be the distance between each waypoint here. Look, 200 feet above, we'll get our descent clearance. Look. Very fixed.
Descend and maintain flight level 200 Alpaca 01.
So increase the vertical speed here. Vertical speed, it's very stable at least. Oh, I need to push it. Why are you levelling off though? Come on, 3,000 feet per minute I've set in vertical speed. You should be going down. Set to 10,000 feet, so we'll set the QNH. Why are we not descending? So I had to select vertical speed again, unfortunately, but it is now going. I'm going to get up high here. That's it, give me 3,000 feet per minute. There we go. Let's do 4,000 feet. 4,000 feet's not that unusual. Why are we levelling off? Now it's a bit misbehaving. It didn't do this yesterday. Right, we need to set the QNH as well in Cardiff, as we are, according to default air traffic control, descending to an altitude already. QNH is 1009, so a bit early, but we'll set it. So why are we not going down? I'm gonna have to go flight level change. That will get it going down. Flipping heck. Come on, give me decimal 70. What are we getting here? 6,000 feet per minute? That's a bit excessive. Yeah, 8,000. God, Jesus. Need some fine tuning. Yeah, it's just the corrections are too slow. Look, and the trim was fully nose up there. Look, now it climbs. Right. Let's calm it all down here. No, it did not level off yesterday. If I recall, it started to nosedive. Stuck sirens on, please. Yeah, look, it can't. Hey, look, and you can see, look, the pitch trim is fighting it. Nose up, nose down. That's going to have a oscillating effect. Let's just go vertical speed. Right, thrust is coming out. That's accurate because it's trying to maintain the order from here. 5,000 feet per minute. We're going to get it super high now. And just maintain 5,000 feet per minute, please. Pitch up, please. This may lead to a crash, said Bob's Aviation. Ye of little faith. Oh dear. Let's just enjoy the external views and pretend none of that's going on. That looks pretty, at least. I mean, if you disregard the oscillating vertical speed, we're fine. Right, it seems to be stabilising a little bit here. Let's go for 4,000 feet per minute, because I'm going excessively here. Yeah, speed's increased, that's fine. Hopefully the parasitic drag will increase and we'll start slowing down. I would expect it to be slowing down a bit quicker here. Apnea, what height do I want to be at Apnea? Or Amra, sorry. Amra I want to be at around 4,000 feet. So I'm going to use a little bit of speed brake here. Well, vertical speed has stabilised, is maintaining the attitude now. CDA below 6,000, don't forget they monitor it, it's in RW. Oh dear. I hope you guys can still see me, but Microsoft Flight Simulator has lost internet connection. Looks like the stream is still live. Some automation. So usually it triggers a descent or vectors at some point. Hopefully we'll get that very soon. Amazing. Right, anyway, it seems to have stabilised now. Speed's coming back. Again, there's a bug here where I can actually no longer select an indicated airspeed, so we're going to have to fly Mach numbers. And then yesterday, actually, what I had to do is disconnect the order from. Here we go, look. What? Lies! No, you said... Oh, was it for someone else? Climb and maintain flight level 200. No. I'm just going to request further descent. Altitude bust. God damn it. Why? But I swear it said different altitude for us. Oh well. Nothing to see here. Let's request vector and see if that triggers a further descent. But I think it gets very upset if you miss your speed there.
Continue to Abdul turning and following heading 255 proceed on course.
Oh, we just go to Abdul.
Continue to Abdul turning and following heading 255 proceed on course Alpaca 01.
Well, let's go. Carry on descending. We'll disregard what ATC said. Let's go to 1,000 feet per minute as we approach flight level 100. I need to keep descending really here. Get the speed brake away. And 250 knots. But I really need to keep descending here. I'm trying to do a continuous descent. I'm actually going to go down to 4,000 now. disregard what the default agency is saying. The reason we're going to go down to 4,000, I think that's the highest MSA. Yeah, so I'll just show you the charts here briefly, guys. You can see the MSA look is 3,900 feet to the northeast, which is where we're coming over. So we go to 4,000. Should be grand. Bring the speed back a little bit as well. We'll keep descending down. Why are we leveling off?
Alpaca 01, please expedite your climb to flight level 200.
No! I'm going to have to cancel that if I shut up soon. Let's try it out to Devon again. Yeah. So sometimes it just doesn't want to descend. Can't deselect the mode either. Right. So I think we've got the ILS selected. Approach 30. I hope that V-speed's around the same. You'll have RAF fighters. Soon we will, yes. Looking okay though. We've got 30 miles to run till Bristol. We're still waiting for the ILS to identify. A little bit low here. Let's just do around 1,000 feet.
Alpaca 01, please expedite your climb to flight level 200.
Sorry guys.
London Center, Alpaca 01.
That's not an option we have as well.
Cancel IFR at this time.
Alpaca 01, IS
But look at the
flight
sunset.
plan is canceled. Radar service terminated. Squawk 7000.
So we've got about 40 miles to run. We're about 3,000 feet low now.
Frequency change approved.
And let's see if we can at least contact Cardiff here. Have to get a bit closer by the look of it. And we'll just fly VFR. But looking good otherwise. So next airport's Bristol, which we're about to fly over. In fact, I'll select airports here. You can see them depicted, which is lovely. And we're going to go into the cloud, which is good. Just declare an emergency, yeah, possibly a good option. But once you get it in, look, vertical speed, vertical speed is great, and that's the pitch mode. If you want any pitch mode to at least work, that's one of them. But yes, it does make you realise how much we rely on high quality third party developers making realistic aircraft. Yes, there's a huge amount of room for improvement. Remember, this is a default aircraft which ships with the game, and the fact that it's routed, I mean, I hope the routing's correct. I mean, this might not be accurately replicated. We might not be anywhere near Bristol. We might be over Norway for all we know, but it seems to be routing as expected. Total air temperature 7 degrees, so you pop a bit of engine anti-ice on before we enter cloud. Should have 4, I guess. What have we got here? Auto. I don't know how that works. We could do it with a 747 pilot. Let's try the auto mode. How long is left? We'll be touching down in around 10 minutes. Well, I'm not getting the ILS identifier at the moment. This happened yesterday as well. I think I had to select it, even though I programmed it prior there. So ILS 30 Zulu. Don't want the transition. Execute. Now where's that routing doing to? Bristol. Right, and what is that doing? It's taking us round the airfield for the procedural approach, even though I don't want the Cardiff transition. Deselect the transition. Next page. Let's go direct to CF30. That's the centre fix. There we go. Execute. There we are. Centre fix is now active. 40 miles. We're very low. I misjudged the descent there slightly. But at least now we're routing direct to the centre fix on the ILS, which is something. Autothrottle's struggling to maintain. What on earth? I can book whatever speed. What? Stuck at 400. I might have to disconnect the autothrottle soon. It's responding to me increasing the Mach number, but I can't. I'm stuck. I can't use indicated airspeed. Right, into the cloud we go. We've still got ages of super low. Yeah, I really miss. It's really hard to judge distance with this ND. So we are routing direct to the centre fix. We have this very unusual magenta line taking us to right, but it does say the active waypoint is CF30. You're too low because you weren't cleared to 10,000. I know. I swear I was. Maybe I took someone else's call sign. I want to see if I can at least contact Cardiff. Well, Bristol's next. Badminton Airfield. I've been to Cardiff before, but I've never been to Badminton Airfield. Bristol and Gloucestershire Gliding Club. Oh, why have I done? No, that's right at all. Yeah. Now, if you guys go check out my Instagram, look at the last video I posted. You'll see these exact colours. When the sun's setting through the clouds. That's very nice. Hey guy, you are overpowered. Oh, not again. Not again. Oh dear. But it's been fun. Will I jump back into the default 747 again? If they say they've improved it, maybe I'll try the salty simulations, but we'll do it a little bit more GA perhaps next time with Microsoft Flight Simulator. Controlled flight to descent into terrain. Shouldn't do because I'm respecting the MSA 4000. There's Wales underneath. Don't ever ask me to do that again. Right, looks like the ILS is identified. The localizer deviation scale is on the wrong side. It should be to the left. Oh, there we go. At least we're going to manage a continuous descent somewhat. Now, unfortunately, I also noticed a small bug as well. The V-speeds are directly connected to the flap lever, so the flap bug speeds only start showing up or decreasing when, and your VREF that is as well, only starts moving when you select flaps, which again is incorrect. But yes, 25 miles away, should ideally be at around 7,500 feet continuously descending. Looking okay. Will you stream the default FSX 737? This makes this look mighty better than that. I don't think we'll be doing that. Looking good anyway. Hamza, when is your next stream and explain? Tomorrow. It's going to be a very short stream today. I'm afraid this is all we've got time for. And then on Friday, again a similar flight, but it'll be on VATSIM. Very short sector, around 45 minutes, but it should be quite busy at least. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled. I'll post that stream before I go to bed tonight. And then I'm working all weekend, and then that's it. I start part-time at my operator, so I have lots more time for streams in the future. Right, there we are, under the clouds. Popping out the cloud, turn off the engine anti-ice now. And there is the Welsh countryside. Well, no, we're head over the river still. Hopefully we'll at least get landing clearance. Okay, good. Harry, are you flying across the pond this year? I haven't double checked that date if I'm flying, because my roster's changing soon, but yeah, if I'm off, we'll fly eastbound. So glide slope's now come alive. We're obviously very low. Let's at least keep descending. Flying a CDA. It should just keep descending in vertical speed. I shouldn't have to push out into vent. Yeah, screw that descent planning up a little bit, but we're approaching now 10 miles, DME 18 miles, so we'll start slowing down now. What I'm actually going to do here is, because I can't set a lower speed than Mach 400, I'm actually going to disconnect the auto throttle and we'll turn it into a Fly JSIM 737-200. Manage the speed manually. Oops, it's just reacting to my thrust, which is obviously still set to takeoff power. Why is that speed not coming back? Let's start slowing you down. My VREF's only 230, that's actually probably true because I'm so heavy. Let's get rid of the speed brake that's stowed. And I'm going to add thrust manually now to maintain VREF because I can't use the auto throttle at the moment. In climb you can, but once it converts to Mach you can't change it back. It's a nice little motto. Lovely. So here's the Bristol Channel. Bristol's just behind us, Cardiff is on the right. Looking good. Guys, get your landing rates in. I guess you want me to hand fly soon. Glide slope's coming alive as well. Any duty free where we're going? Anyone know? Andy M21, met up chicken, unbelievable. Let's arm the localizer. And we'll select flap 1. We have a flap 1 bug now, which is going to go straight to flap 5 and fly the flap 5 bug, which is quite fast. The aircraft is now climbing from the ballooning of the flaps, but the attitude and pitch is quite inaccurate. There's the flap 5 speed, so we'll start adding a bit of thrust here to maintain around. Well, I'm going to go around to 200 knots, a bit below the bug speed, but I don't know how accurate that is. Right, glide slope's coming alive now. Let's step down to 2,500. Lock is armed. So I'm just using vertical speed to stay on the glide slope here. And remember, I'm using the auto throttle manually to control speed. Let's take another notch of flaps. There's localizer capture. So we'll set runway heading, which in Cardiff is 297. I mean, it works. It's got us here. Let's arm approach. And why is it not glide slope capture? Come on, should be instant. There we are, glide slope capture. Missed approach altitude, I think it was 3,000 feet. There we are. So, I mean, it's... Let's see how accurate this is. Localizer glide slope capture. I'm just going to watch the automation here. Taking a notch of flaps. Flaps 20. I don't know if I'm meant to take gear with flap 20 in the 7.4. Probably. Yeah. We're established. It has the flight model of a big bowl of fruit. Outrageous sample text. What comment? Right, let's turn the music off. And we're fully established now. Can't set the minimums, but yeah, beautiful. It looks absolutely stunning, isn't it? It's such a shame we can't have a replay function, but looking resplendent in the simulator. Right. So, localizer glide slope, bang on, look, 2 reds, 2 whites. Localizer seems to be on the centre line, crosswinds from the left, so expect the nose to be pointing a little bit more in this direction. We'll start configuring. Gear down. Go straight to flap 30. VREF's been updated as we extend speeds, which I don't think is meant to happen. Happy with the seating position. And let's have some fun, boys and girls. Disconnect the autopilot. So 3 reds, tad low. Let's add a little bit of thrust here to maintain speed. What rollout? Armed on the FMA. Can this do an auto land? I wouldn't trust it. So, the attitude for the 7.4 on final for our current CG. Gross weight, not 100% sure. It's not too far off what I'd expect. On the 7.3, typically the attitude is around 1 degree or on the horizon. Again, I'm not a jumbo pilot, so I can't tell you where it is. It's roughly where I'd expect it to be. Speed's okay. Tad high, so I'm just going to take a bit of thrust off now. Look at the water effects, they're absolutely beautiful. Perfect evening for flying. Checked, it's a bit right of centre line, so I'll make a slight heading adjustment. Speed's okay on the line slope. I mean, hand flying, it seems nice. My controls were a little bit sensitive. I need to turn down the sensitivity and fine tune them, but I've not really had a play with any of those settings here. 3 white, so again, just change your attitude. You know, once we're actually on this phase here, it's really not that bad. Really. The inputs I'm making are kind of similar to what I'd make in the Zebo mod. Again, a little bit sensitive, but I need to turn down the sensitivity settings. Tad high, so just correct that attitude. There we are, back on the descent profile. Maybe rate of descent's a bit fast there. A bit left of centre line. Right of centre line, sorry. Checked. That's the rad out quickly decreasing. That's quite realistic because the terrain's coming to the aircraft.
100,
Windsock I don't think's accurate. There we are.
50, 40,
A bit high.
20,
Check.
10.
Close. Hold the attitude. Come on. Come on. Oh, not bad. I'd say that's a butter. Right, speed brakes up. Reverses. So there's 100 knots. 80 knots. Cancelling reverse. Now you're braking. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cardiff in the 747-8. Unbelievable. So, you can do it. You can get from A to B sort of safely. The autopilot's very, very jumpy, but if you're new to simming and you want to have a bit of fun, it works. You know, turn up the weather a little bit, give you a bit of fog. Yeah, am I impressed? I am. For a default 747, my personal opinion is it ain't that bad. It really isn't. And I'm sure with further updates, Asobo will further fine-tune some of the issues. Obviously, we highlighted some of the main bugs today. We've obviously got that salty simulations. People like that are helping improve the models, and yeah, not that bad. I really enjoyed that flight personally. Am I going to be doing it every stream? Absolutely not. but it wasn't that bad. Wicked. Right, we'll taxi onto stand. Very narrow taxiway. This is probably not approved for a Category E aircraft, which I think is what the Jumbo falls into when it comes to taxi and wingspan. Maybe it does. Even though it's Category E. It's certainly not what a 737 is. Right, we'll clean up now. Flaps coming up. And let's stow the speed brake. Nice straight taxi in here. Let's enjoy some of those external views. That's so cool. Oh, the flight controls are actually working. Look, you see how the main gear tilt as well. That's really cool. I believe that's what happens on the real 747. A lot of GA aircraft over there, so I'm not going to try to taxi you. Change for you as well. Yes, definitely a bit of fun. Can you fly instrument approaches and IFR like that? It needs a bit of work. The FMC is obviously not modelled anywhere near as close to its real counterpart, the ND as well, the display here. Pitch and power for various phases are off, but on approach there, pan flying, it did feel alright, you know. It's not perfect, but you know, it didn't feel like a Cessna or something like that. Right, where on earth are we going to stick this in? I think we'll go straight into one of these stands, which is what I did when I did the practice flight. Looking good. Great landing, slight wobble, but nothing too serious. Thank you. Oh no! There's a couple of aircraft blocking my stands. Where am I going to go? Is that a little... Oh look, there is an actual air bridge around there. Let's see if we can tuck it round this corner. I didn't see this aircraft. Oh, I might go straight in on this stand here. Oh, it's an Airbus. Ooh, taxi edge lights on the middle of the taxiway. That's a slight issue. Don't forget to turn your strobes off as well. And we'll make the next left here. Performance seems to improve slightly. I swear when I last saw the Jumbo I was getting a few FPS issues. I run my settings, you see my PC specs in the video description below, but the sim's running at high end. Plane's bigger than the airport, I know. Yeah, it's not the... You saw that, I didn't use max manual brake, I used the auto brake, and that was auto brake 4. Again, don't know how accurately modelled that is, but we did use all that runway up. Yeah, it's a shame we can't watch the replay of that. I've overshot this line slightly as well. Oh, not easy to taxi. Yeah, I overshot that completely. Nothing to see. Right, what I'm going to do is see if I can do a bit of a bodge job here. If I go full right now. Still a bit off it. Yeah, this definitely doesn't park here. Because now we've... well, anyone else that wants to taxi behind us is a bit screwed. Ooh, let's try not to hit the building. There we are. Right. Parking brake is set. Put the AP on the bus first. Our AP generator is already on, look. And external power. What does that actually mean available? No, it is on. Very good. Let's shut it down. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cardiff. To Wales. Amazing. Which is obviously, very sadly, where all the British Airways 747s, I think most of them have been positioned here for scrapping or something or other. Great shame, and I've got a good friend of mine who flew the BA Jumbo, and he's now in a whole pool to be type rated onto another aircraft, which probably isn't going to even happen next year, so awful times for the industry, but hey ho, what can you do? Chin up and crack on with other things, isn't it? Daniel Smith, 2 blues, 1 red. Wait a sec. Love it. Absolutely awesome. Well, guys, I'm afraid that's it. Just a short stream today. Just a bit of fun as well. Just wanted to demonstrate how, you know, the default 747 handles, or my sort of interpretation of it, you know, flying the 7.3. And yes, of course, we all know it's not perfect, and how we really do rely on accurate third-party aircraft. But perhaps if you're new to simming, which I know a lot of the new subscribers to the channel are, I just wanted to show you can have a bit of fun in the 7.4. It's not going to be handling exactly as realistic as possible. I wouldn't want to say like to fly a non-precision approach or an ILS, or I can't brief properly, I can't set the minimums, I can't do those sort of things. But for a bit of fun, which I think we've all had this evening, it was great. So I probably won't do too many more of these. I'll be sticking with G8 primarily with Microsoft Flight Simulator. I might take a look at the Salty Simulations, or whatever it's called, version of this. I know a lot of people want me to fly the fly-by-wire Airbus, but I know there's a couple of other streamers who've got the V1 simulation. The new guy I've not even spoken to, the 320 sim pilot, has been streaming that too. But yeah, we'll be back in the Zebo mod tomorrow. As I mentioned, we'll be going from Athens to Rhodes, weekends off, and then I'll be back streaming again a little bit more frequently from next week onwards, as I do start part-time my own operator. But guys, thank you very much for tuning in. All I ever ask is if you could like the video, don't forget to subscribe as well to stay up to date with the latest content, and I'll see you all tomorrow, hopefully in the Zebo mod 737. Have a great evening, and see you soon. Bye bye for now.